Here. One moment. More technical thing. Okay. So since our last meeting, we have been busy partnering with different groups from all over the state. I attended the Deaf Blind Interagency Team meeting. And that group is really set up to make sure all of our deaf, blind, and VR customers get the appropriate services that they need. So that was a really good meeting. We have a lot of deaf, blind people who have been served by are being served by the state right now. And they're doing great work with HKNC and partnership with the Deaf Blind Employment Specialist. We've been busy planning for the Southeast Regional Institute on Deafness. It'll happen in November. I think like the first week of November in Atlanta. Will be, please make plans to join us in Atlanta. It'll be a wonderful conference. I've been serving on the board with them, planning and also looking at services and accessibility and everything like that for the conference. So it's going to be an exciting time. Also, this past quarter, I've been working really closely with the Educational Interpreter Development Program. That grant is amazing. You all did great work. We're working all over the state with the educational interpreters. They are working all over the state with educational interpreters. And I've seen improvements already. People are really developing their skills. They're passing the EIPA, which is the performance test for educational interpreters. And that means that our students who are deaf and hard of hearing and deaf blind are receiving better educational services across the board, which means a better future for Tennesseans. Finally, I'm excited to announce that we will have 2 DIs, deaf interpreters, joining our interpreting team for the August meeting. Both will be coming from Knoxville. And they're both very excited. Now, you know that anytime we add something new or do something different, there might be some things that come up. And then, of course, we have to handle technology. So we'll figure it out. But come to the August meeting with your patience. All right. Okay, thank you all. Let's have a great meeting. Thank you, Lisa, for your report. Next, Department of Human Services updates, Annalise Romiser.
It all helps. Okay, so I'm Annalise Romiser. I am the VR field supervisor for Deaf Blind Services in East Tennessee. I just wanted to take some time to report on the following updates. We have 2 new counselors that we've hired in the past several months for deaf services. One is in Knoxville, one is in Chattanooga, and we have somebody else who should be starting in May. Additionally, we have a vacancy for a support coordinator in Knoxville for sensory services that we hope will be posted soon. So if you know anyone that would be interested, send them our way. Additionally, we have an initiative to reach out to warehouses and factories to see if any employees are impacted by hearing loss. And I did bring some flyers for that if you all know anyone who might be interested. And this would work, a flyer for anybody. We're just really focused on warehouses and factories, things like that right now. And lastly, we had that Go Bag event in September for Emergency Preparedness Month. In Knoxville, we had a lot of leftover bags, so I brought some of them here in case you need them, you know someone that needs them. I think I brought about 13, and in them, there's a weather alert radio, a pillow shaker, and strobe lights that I'm pretty sure connects to the radio, a first aid kit, and then there's 3 batteries. So all the batteries you need are included. So if you need them, they're just over there behind the booth. So feel free. I have maybe 10 more in Knoxville, so if we need more, we can kind of figure that out. But I was only one person and those boxes were heavy. So anyway, those are my updates. Thank you.
Thank you, Annalise. Next is unfinished business. Lisa, do we have any unfinished business? Lisa said no. Okay, so next, new business. Edward Mitchell, Executive Director of the State Independent Living Council. Excuse me, Lisa will introduce him. Hello again. Edward is
Hey, good morning.
the Executive Director. Here he is. You can see him on Zoom. He has a PowerPoint, but with all the technology issues that we've had this morning, I wasn't able to upload it. So what we're going to do is we're going to send it to all of you after the meeting. Okay? But Edward is gracious and agreed to present for us about the SILC, what they do, and they are our sister council. So I'm excited for you to learn about the SILC. Edward, take it away.
Thank you so much, and good morning, Council. All right. This is the Statewide Independent Living Council of Tennessee, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our council, and I won't belabor this, but the council part is a really important thing. Another thing to remember about the SILC is that it isn't just an acronym, we're our own thing, and autonomy is really important. The Silks work with the government, but we're not a part of the government. Silks work with the SILs, but we're not an extension of the SILs. In all 50 states and 5 permanent inhabited territories in the United States and the District of Columbia have a Silk. Each Silk functions a little bit differently, and they all have the same goal. Silks are authorized by the 1973 Rehabilitation Act, which was amended in 2015, I'm sorry, by the Workforce Innovation Opportunities Act, WIOLA, pronounced WIOLA. Again, where statewideness is our thing. We want folks from teeny tiny town, population of 1, from middle place, population of 50,000, and folks everywhere in the middle. Consumer direction is an important thing. IL is all about consumer control. Remember, nothing about us without us. And a majority, at least 51% of Silk members must be persons with disabilities. A majority, at least 51% of the council can't work at a SIL. The governor appoints new Silk members, but we have to get recommendations from all over the state. Diversity, equality, inclusion are really big deals. And again, we want people from all different walks of life, socioeconomic backgrounds, education levels, employment, racial identity. We need everybody. We also want as many disabilities represented as possible. And we don't want things to get stale. Keeping track of all this is a lot of work. Most silks have at least one staff member, making sure that the council has the right people, keeping them well trained, and being active is a big part of what they do. So what does the silk do? We have two primary responsibilities. Writing the spill, which is the state plan for independent living, which is to help the whole state and the SILs, and making sure that everything in the spill is accomplished and making changes when needed. Just like your council, we have our regular meetings that are open to the public to make sure people know about the meetings beforehand, submit reports, and making sure that we're having our committees. Silks can choose to do other things as well. We conduct resource development, but we also coordinate with other public and private entities. Some things that silks are not allowed to do. We're not allowed to help consumers directly. That's the job of the SILs. And what is this spill thing? It's kind of like a Google roadmap. It lets us figure out SIL service areas, making sure as many persons as possible have access to a SIL, and deciding about how Part B funding is spent, and setting goals for individuals with disabilities so they can be as independent as possible. And we do this through a network of centers for independent living. In your PowerPoint, you'll see that we have 6 centers for independent living that cover the whole state. We have the Jackson Center for Independent Living, which covers the Jackson surrounding area. We have the TARP Center for Independent Living, which is based in Paris, which covers Paris, Tennessee catchment area. We have Disability Resource Center, which is in Knoxville, which covers Knoxville. We have Disability Connection Mid-South, which was formerly the Memphis Center for Independent Living, which covers Shelby County. We have Empower Tennessee, which covers the Nashville, Cumberland area. And then we have Track, which covers the Chattanooga area. And all this will be laid out in your PowerPoint. Also within the PowerPoint, you'll kind of have an update of our Centers for Independent Living and what we've been up to. And we've actually been featured recently in the DD Council Breaking Ground magazine. Also, you'll find out more about our national organizations, such as the National Council for Independent Living, NASILC, which is the National Association for Statewide Independent Living Councils, APRIL, which is the Association for Rural Independent Living, and then IRLU, which is the Independent Living Research Utilization, which is our training arm. Other than that, we are in our 3-year spill cycle from 2024 through 2027. And you'll see the major parts of the spill, which is our goals, objectives, and activities, scope and extent and arrangement of services, network of centers, who our DSE is, information on the silk, our legal basis, DSE assurances, silk assurances, and the signatures from all of our centers for independent living. So that is just a little nugget of what the Statewide Independent Living Council is. And we are here to work together. And I hope that both of our councils can work together and collaborate on anything. I want as many members as possible to know about what the Silk is doing, but also I want us to make sure that we're collaborating because we are in a new world. And I just want all councils to be able to work together. So don't hesitate to reach out to me and look for ways to collaborate because, again, that's what the Silk wants to do. And I'm available for any questions.
Lisa, do you have a question? Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Are there any questions for Edward? Okay, thank you so much for your time and for joining us, Edward.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for having me. Okay, next is Don Johnson, Long-Term Care Work Group.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Is everyone able to have a good sight line, see me well? Okay, I'm here to talk about the long-term care program. So last year, in May, there were some questions about the in-home care programs, and I did a brief explanation on those. Have not really seen anything come from that since then. So last month, I was in a Zoom meeting about CARE, CARE program, and learned a lot more about the in-home program. Just with assistance, the CARE program itself, in-home nursing. And at that meeting, there was so much more than I even thought was out there. So I feel like we just need more involvement and really get down to the nitty-gritty and have these discussions and once and for all, because deaf blind consumers across the state, or people that have had strokes or suffer from seizures or just old age, they need these services in our state. I'll give you an example. My sister is deaf blind, and she is completely isolated. And when COVID hit back in 2020, that was a huge shift for her in terms of the SSPs that she used to depend on. She was no longer able to do that. They relocated to different states, or they were no longer available. So that pool of SSPs shrank dramatically, which is very frustrating. And so I just feel like we need some programs like that to help people like my sister. We need these programs. We need to help the deafblind community. We need to allow them to gain more independence as individuals. We need training out there. That needs to be what we need to do. And this problem is persisting, which is very upsetting. I know it causes a lot of worry and angst and just people being very upset. So I do hope that these programs and opportunities will become available for anything from care to transportation to just the stories that I hear from individuals, that are homebound. It's not a good situation. Having deaf, blind people and really having control over whether or not they get that socialization out of the home, that's not right. And we should not live in a world or an environment where we just allow deaf, blind people or the elderly to just fade away in their homes. So I really do hope that we can develop something and get a work group, something to focus on the long-term care programs and get this taken care of once and for all. So I don't want to lose programs. I know that there's a lot of information. There's a lot of people who say, we don't know about this, or we'll keep putting this off till later, but I do hope something happens soon. Oh, are there any questions? So John, where did you find that program from that you were talking about? Oh, the long-term care program? Yeah, where did you get that information? I got that information from, the home care assistance. Yeah, so I think for the deaf and the hard of hearing community, there are opportunities. There are people out there who need that communication assistance from the deaf and hard of hearing communities. They can take deaf blind individuals to the store. They can get them out, or if there's a senior citizen who's deaf blind, just to sort of keep their mind stimulated and communicate with them. Right now, that's a huge need. Just take them out to lunch, take them for a walk in the park, you name it. There's you can help clean their house. or if they can't find something in their home, maybe just help them look for that item and give it to them. Financial assistance, just any type of care, really. And just to sort of go around the house, make sure there's no, ceiling leaks or there's no part of the home that's in disrepair that may need attention. There's just so many opportunities. I mean, so many needs, and this program is a much needed program. Marina, are you willing to help?
Michael Armstrong has a question too. Can you look at him, John?
Okay, I want to be clear on Marina's question to you. So, how did you get connected to that program? I think was the question, sort of what led you there? Oh, how did I get connected to the program? It wasn't here, or you weren't here, but back last year at the May 3rd meeting, I mentioned that program and noticed that they were in other states. Other states had that built into their system, and I thought, oh wow, we do have one here in Tennessee. We actually have one, but no one knows about it. So I would really, at that point, urge the council to do something to get involved in this effort and also the 6 centers around the state, and it's just been silent. So since that meeting, so I'd like to set up a work group on this effort.
Any more questions? Thank you, John. Okay, next, council member reports. Hold on just a second. Thank you. Is that better? Okay. All right, next council member report. So the first one is Amy Langhite with TRID. Good morning, I'm Amy Langhite from TRID. I'm the Nashville representative for TRID. I have to read my notes because I'm tired today, sorry. Thank you. So I want to let you know, RID has a conference soon, July 31st to August 3rd. We'll have in-person and virtual options for RID right now is looking for certified interpreters to go and interpret the whole conference. So if you know someone who's interested or you are interested, please reach out to me and I'll give you all the information. We finally have a district representative for Memphis. Thankfully, we've been looking for a long time now. So that means all of our districts have a representative now. Nicholas Roman. Norman. He's an admin for the Deaf Studies program at the University of Memphis and an interpreter. He's a certified interpreter as well. So we're really thankful that he's joining us, and hopefully we'll have more engagement in Memphis, and then Memphis interpreters won't feel quite as isolated and they can be more involved with TRID. We have many interpreters events coming up all over the state. We have 3 districts now here in Nashville. The 3rd Thursday of every month, we have interpreter night out. We provide information about TRID and all the programs and what's going on. We're inviting all the interpreters, come on. Before COVID, we got together often, but after COVID, we felt more isolated. And so now we really want to, get that going again and get together again. Every month, about 20 interpreters show up on a regular basis. So much fun. We get to chat. We're going to have game night soon. And, just we share our experiences. It's really a great event. So we encourage you, if you know an interpreter, tell them about it, invite them to come. It's really fun. Knoxville has one in Nashville, then there's another one. I can't remember, sorry. It slipped my mind, but okay, thank you, Marina, I'm good. So finally, a short update about the licensure bill for interpreters. We're still working, every month we're meeting. We've proposed a grant, drafted a grant. Here, and we sent it to our state representative. We're still working with the legal wording, and we're going all over the state, still meeting people and different stakeholders. We have 4 deaf people still involved with the group, 3 interpreters are involved, but we want everyone involved. We want as much feedback as we can possibly get. The licensure bill is really important because we need to protect the deaf community and the interpreting community. We have no rules, right? No rules. We have no regulation for interpreters right now. So we want the whole community to work together to come up with appropriate regulations that are deaf friendly and protects the deaf and is interpreter friendly. And we just, if you want more information, just meet with me after the meeting. Okay, thank you so much. There's a question. John says, how long do you think it will take the licensure bill? How close are we? I think it'll be established next year. We'll do a serious draft. It didn't pass, and it takes a long time to, have the meetings and redo the draft and all that kind of thing. But we're working on it. We'll continue to work on it until it passes. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Have a great day. Thank you, Amy, for your report. Next is Carl Sherrard, deaf representative.
Good morning, everyone. So far, the meeting has gone well. Been very impressed with that. So I just want to report back on what's going on in my home area of Chattanooga. So we've had events at the Partnership Deaf Services. They recently hit their 50-year anniversary, and they were on Channel 9. There was an interview with them. I don't have everyone's last name that was interviewed, but I do know that they interviewed Chris, and they also interviewed Matt. And then lastly, they interviewed Darwin, and Jeremy was the interpreter for those interviews. Okay, secondly, there was ASL Day at the zoo in Chattanooga. But unfortunately, it was canceled because of weather. There was a class on the topic of home buying, and it was titled, "Are You Ready to Buy a House?" That took place on March 20th. And that was at 6 p.m. I was surprised that evening because it was very windy and cold. So I thought maybe, well, that's going to deter people from showing up. Thought maybe we'd have 2 or 3, but really, in total, we had, let's see, where was that? We had 18 people. So I was told that it was about 20, but and I was surprised about that given the weather. There was another event. It was deaf blind bingo. Let's see, where am I? Okay, that was also on March 20th. It was a small event, but I would definitely call it successful. Next, there was a credit and budgeting class, which took place on April the 17th. And we had a good number of people show up. There were 11 for that event. So all the good information there. Okay, the next event was a crochet class that was instructed using ASL. And 5 people were there. All right, now for some upcoming events. We're having a cookout and swim event, which is currently planned to take place on July the 26th. It promises to be fun and hope to have a lot of community engagement there. Next, we're going to have ASL classes, 4 in total. And we're going to be providing that for over 40 students. And then the Hearing Loss Association of America, HLAA. I know that we're trying to work on some type of event there. And we usually have around 7 people attending the meetings. That's all. We're good. Questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carl, for your report. And next is Paul Kozak, PSD representative.
Hello, everyone. I'm Paul from Tennessee School for the Deaf, Outreach and Access, and really just have a couple. I'll keep my report short and sweet. We have our Family Learning Day events at the Tennessee School for the Blind here in Nashville. So that's going to be tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of booths, workshops, good information to be had all day, starting at 10 a.m. and then we will conclude at 4 p.m. Highly recommend you attend that. The next one will be at Tennessee in the main campus in Knoxville on May 31st, again from 10 to 4. And then after that, we're going to have our one out west at West Tennessee School for the Deaf, June 7th through the 9th from 10 to 3. And again, table, booths, educational sessions, workshops, things like that. So if you know anyone, family, or anyone who would benefit from those, let me know. Have a great day.
Any questions for Paul? Thank you, Paul. Let me grab my notes. So next is Michael Armstrong. Oh, wait. Excuse me. Thank you for correcting me. I really appreciate it. John Johnson, Deaf Blind representative.
Okay, hello again, John Johnson here, representative of the deaf blind community. I think everyone already knows that by now. So, okay, so this is again pertaining to deaf blind consumers. So, and I'm bringing their concerns to the council from across the state of Tennessee. And so I know that, the economic environment so far is not going to allow any type of training here right now, but I do have something I want to speak about, which is homeowners insurance. So I'm reading my notes. They will no longer insure me, issue me a policy unless I get the bundle. The auto, home, and auto insurance. Consumers should bundle their policy. Okay. What is someone? What if someone can't drive or is supposed to do? Someone who can't drive, what are they supposed to do? I believe it's illegal. That idea, if that senior citizens can't drive, people who had strokes or seizures or who are blind or have cerebral palsy, that they're supposed to just sit at home and do nothing because they can't get homeowners insurance. I'm not sure. I don't think that should be allowed in the state at all. There should be some training about that. Let's see. Okay. I'm also concerned about ASL classrooms in mainstream schools. I believe back in 2023 through in 2024, in the Hamilton County school systems, that was going well, and then the program stopped either in 2024 or 2025, I believe, and I'm not sure why that stopped to be. I know that there used to be some hard of hearing students and that they were signing up. And so I spoke with the mayor about the ASL classrooms, and it was just interesting. And then a few weeks ago, on Facebook, I saw that Tennessee schools, I'm not sure, but that the ASL programs have closed, which I found interesting. I know people get in uproars and get really panicked nowadays, but this particular issue seems, if you sort of, what was happening before that 2024-2025 school year and what's happened now, it seems like there's been a crack in the system. And politics aside, there seems to be an eliminating of ASL programming. So I think we need to look into that and figure out what's going on, and that needs to be fixed. So we need to bring those programs back in the mainstream schools across the state of Tennessee. So we need to figure this out and see what we can do. I know resources are scarce nowadays, but we need to pull the right people in and make that better. Okay, concerns about county schools and centers, the state centers. Not speaking to any one director, but it seems to be a same issue over and over again. And I haven't been reached out to or contacted, so I feel like the centers need to be more involved with the county school system. So maybe we can get some action on that soon. I do encourage that. I'm not criticizing any one center, and I definitely value the centers, want them to keep doing what they're doing, but I think that we can be a little bit more productive in this area. And just as professionals, just really look into the matters and just do some better collaboration with those school systems. DBAS. the Deaf Blind Association of the South, in Georgia, and that also includes Tennessee. There's gonna be, a camp. Well, it's more like a reunion, but it's gonna be a camp, and it's gonna be on October 21st through the 26th at the Future Farmers of America campsite, and that's gonna be in Covington, Georgia. You can't take any more guests, though. That's full. I just wanted to make you aware of that, but they are in need of SSPs for that event, so there's an application form. It's a little complex, but I'll be happy to speak with you later on that. So HHS, Hamilton High School. There's someone there named Jen Perth who's doing a great job and getting some action going down there. And she got permission to go visit the TSD campus. She took a group up there of students and interpreters to Tennessee School for the Deaf main campus in Knoxville. And there was an adult program. I think that was toward the end of March. And I was very excited to hear about that they got to go to the campus, and I do applaud her for that. Okay, House Bill 1066 seems that it's targeting Tennessee business enterprise for the blind and deaf blind. So I see that as a little bit of a threat, but it does seem like that people are rallied against this bill and they killed it. So that's good news. So thank you for everyone who was involved in that effort. April 22nd, we're having VRS and FCC town hall meeting. So it was very interesting. I know that there's been some concerns about the FCC and the ability to include deaf interpreters somehow in that system that's been established. So they were garnering feedback for that, and they talked about legal matters. So for example, if a hearing interpreter, if there's misunderstandings, then the deaf consumers get very frustrated and they're filing complaints. So the focus was on being able to supplement the hearing interpreter's work with a certified deaf interpreter. So if you are interested in that topic, I think that maybe you could provide feedback. We'll see how that goes. Okay, and lastly, this is from me personally. This is a concern from the TCDDBHH. I think that there are, and this is on the line of collaboration, some are working, some aren't. I just think we need just the professionals on the council really aren't doing a whole lot of work, and it seems like they may feel like it's a waste of time, but I do ask that we just really focus on communication skills and yeah, and I want to be respectful in this. I just feel like we need to have better communication skills on the council and really to keep our productivity up. I know we have lots of people out there who are concerned that the council is going to fold under the political climate. And I try to be positive and optimistic and think, no, we're still doing good work. We're still doing good work, that they need to speak up. But sometimes I feel like that my efforts aren't being heeded very well. So I really do encourage, again, just the sort of professional communication and review that amongst ourselves. And just in general, the TCDHH, and get people involved and to join so we can do better work and serve those in our community better. Oh, and let me give you some information about the DBAS application if you're interested in being SSPs or serving in those capacities. Hold on one second. Can you tell them what it says there on that blue link, that hyperlink? Can you give that out?
https://forms dot H. The interpreter wanted me to repeat it, so I'm gonna go a little slower. HTTPS colon // forms FORMS dot GLE / uppercase G 91 uppercase A uppercase X uppercase P uppercase F lowercase s lowercase z 7 lowercase q uppercase s 2 LF 2 or B 2 uppercase F uppercase B uppercase X 6.
All right, thank you for doing that. Yeah, if the link doesn't work, then you can reach out to Lisa Remmel, and she can give you that link as well. I know that wasn't an easy link, but if it doesn't work or if it directs you somewhere else, just contact Lisa. Okay, are there any questions for me? All right, thank you.
Thank you, John, for your report. Next, Michael Armstrong, Tennessee Association of the Deaf Representative.
Okay, I have my laptop here. I wasn't able to print at the hotel, so I came here, internet issues, so I'm gonna bring up my entire laptop instead of just a piece of paper. So I do have 4 things I want to announce. TAD updates. First of all, I want to say hello to the members of the council out there. I am here with you to work alongside of you and to advocate in the best interest of the deaf, blind, and hard of hearing communities for across the state of Tennessee. I want to share some important updates. I could go on and on for quite a while, but I'm just gonna summarize into 4 points. So from year to date, some information. I've been looking and doing some research and found some areas that I need to fix internally, and those have been done. So I'm going to start, really from COVID to this point, the federal, government, everything's been going well and inside the state. And then it's been a little bit complex and confusing, but we're getting some things worked out there. Since we've resolved those issues, Tennessee Association from the Deaf has received the green light now to, and we are in good standing. There was a little bit of a delay because we didn't officially announce our at our conference. So October 18th, that weekend, Friday and Saturday, we'll have that. So we are in good standing with the charitable organizations with the state of Tennessee. So with the renewal process, there's a form you have to fill out every year. So we've got clarification on that. So now if we have events that you want to sponsor, be involved in, reach out to me or one of my team members, and we'll be happy to get you in line for how to do that. So now our next focus is going to be on working on our website. So we're finally getting around to that. We have a contract now with a company, so we're starting the first few steps, and we're going to have Google Workspace. So that's been a long time coming. TAD, we're also going to have our team is going to have a representative involved in the interpreter licensure bill. So we've been involved in that and in that discussion for quite a while. And, you know, I don't know all the answers on that front, but I know there's been a lot of people doing some work on that while TAD has been focused on our internal issues and we've been on the periphery of the licensure bill as well. We do have our commitment, but unfortunately, there's been some bills frozen on the table because the legislature maybe hasn't gotten some clarification or some transparency that we're looking for. So we're still trying to get some information on some legislature objectives that we're concerned about. But like John said, we're just going to really kind of focus and fix what we can and gather information about that. And we'll try to get that bill, or we'll see if that bill goes forward or not. TAD would also like to remind everyone on the council, you know, well, Lisa knows, but Lisa's responsible for working with all of you on the licensure bill. So I think that some information has already been talked about that already during the meeting, so I won't belabor that. So the Tennessee Code 7-1, chapter 4, part 421. I'm sorry, section 421. Actionable. Okay.
I believe there must be an actionable plan in place beyond verbal assurances from agencies to ensure accountability and standards.
Yeah. So it was actionable. Good.
Actionable plan in place beyond verbal assurances from agencies to ensure accountability and standards.
So thank you for your continued support and continued work with us.
Any questions regarding TAD? Okay, thank you, Michael, for your report. Okay, so a last minute addition to the council members report, if you don't mind, Robin Beeman.
Good morning, everyone. This is Robin Beeman from the Department of Safety and Homeland Security. I just briefly, I wanted to remind everyone that the deadline for the Real ID card is coming up next week, May 7th, 2025. And for those who aren't familiar with the Real ID card, that comes from the Real ID Act of 2005, which was established for minimum security standards for license issuance and production. These Real ID cards we found at the driver service centers at the Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Driver service facilities, and in some locations, the county clerk offices are issuing them as well. You will find a lot of this information on the Department of Safety and Homeland Security's website, to include the required documents that are needed for the Real ID card. The different categories of documents include proof of U.S. citizenship or legal presence, proof of your full Social Security number, and 2 proofs of Tennessee residency. What you can do and what we recommend is to get your Real ID required documents pre-approved. And again, this information is on the website. By doing so, you can ensure that the documents that you bring have been accepted. We ask that you give at least 5 business days for your documents to be pre-approved. Also, on the website, there is a list of examples for each of the required documents so that you won't have to guess whether or not you are bringing the required documents that will be accepted. Also, we do recommend that you make an appointment as well to get your the real ID card. Appointments can be made up to 90 days in advance. Once the slots at that location has filled up, the area for the appointments will be grayed out at the center. So pay attention to the information that's on the website. While you can make the appointment online, the application itself needs to be done in person. That is a federal requirement, so the application itself will be done in person for that. And so the website for the Department of Safety and Homeland Security to get this started is tn.gov/safety.html. Once you get to that website, locate driver services. And then under driver services, you'll see the information for Real ID. Included in that information are frequently asked questions. It's the list of the frequently asked questions. Once you review the frequently asked questions, if you still need additional information, feel free to contact the local driver services facility, or you can contact me. I am also the ADA light duty coordinator for the department. And when we have our deaf hard of hearing customers who needs an ASL interpreter, we can also assist in securing that when you are using any of our Department of Safety and Homeland Security resources. And so that's all I have right now.
Question. My name is Tony. I'm a minority representative for the Hard of Hearing. And I have a question for you. And I noticed that people want to get their real ID and it's booked. I mean, right now people are doing it last minute to get the real ID because the deadline's next week. And that they try to book around the Nashville Driving Center or the Bannon Driving Center. Yeah, or Franklin Driving Center. Or the Bannon Driving Center, anywhere around the Nashville area, I mean, or close to, within 30 minutes, 45 minutes. That is all booked out until like June or July. They can't do that appointment, before the May deadline. So I noticed that people can just go in person and then actually get a ticket and just wait for like 1, 2, 3 hours and see if they can get their real ID. That might be a faster way. Is that right?
Yeah, the push for real IDs has been ongoing for years. And now federal guidelines are requiring that as of May 7th, that's the deadline. Now, you can still get an ID after May 7th. You just will not be able to, without it, you won't be able to enter certain federal buildings or fly on in the domestic planes throughout the country. You will not be able to board unless maybe you have a passport. You can use a passport, but in other, information is located on the website of what will be accepted. But the ID is a lot easier to carry. And so, everybody, doesn't always carry their passport. So, that's an option, either the passport or the real ID. Can be used to enter these buildings. And if, there are other facilities that you may not be able to enter without it. And so, and that information is also on the website. So if you have additional questions, the branch managers at each facility can respond to those if your question is not answered on the website. Now, I work for the Department of Safety, but I'm not the expert in the real ID. I don't work with inside of the Driver Service Center, but I do work with them. And I am the ADA coordinator that works with English bridges to secure the Excel interpreter that may be needed. And securing your regular ID, driver's license, with the real ID star. Gonna answer your question.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, this is John Johnson. Thank you for that report. I was reading the captions there. So some of the words were cut off on the screen, but my question is, when you mentioned the passport, I know there's two different kinds. That's like the old book, and then there's an ID. If you want to fly domestically, do you have to bring the ID along with the passport, or is the passport enough, or does it have to be the combo?
That's not a question that I can answer. That I would check with the airline, as far as what documents that they are requiring. But the general thing, I know when I fly, if I have my passport, that's sufficient. I don't have to show anything other than a boarding pass with the passport. So if things have changed, they should be able to tell you when you're checking on your flights. That would be a great question to ask if anything other than the passport is needed.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, thank you, Robin, for the reminder about the real ID. That's very important. All right, next is a break. So just a reminder, the food's over here, the drinks are over here. Also, you can pick up the bag from like the emergency kit if you would like, okay? So don't forget to go to the bathroom too. So, all right, break.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, no, that's part of the. I'll take Teresa's. And then. Can I get the average time? Or is it a pen? Or I think it's a. Oh my God. I got off. I know I'm going to. I'll be fine. And we all people go to the coffee and stuff. It'll be okay. Thanks for working out.
Yeah.
So definitely, oh, yeah. I was like.
Looking for a coffee factory.
Yeah, mine seems like they do this on.
What that is.
You know, it's. I know. Stand for a minute, maybe. Yes. So like. Yeah, like provide. Like. With some, basic. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Tom D'Angelo. I'm the new executive director of the Knoxville Center for the Deaf. And I would love to talk with you occasionally some minutes about TIMA. That's the right acronym, right? TIMA. Like how Knoxville can help in the community and how we can get involved. So if you have any contact information. Yeah, and just the local contact in Knoxville. And I think we can work together to make sure that we're providing accessible services. Perfect. Thank you so much. It's nice to meet you. Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to building a relationship. We left. That's why I like this on my mind yesterday. Bring it to Nashville. People have been asking. I tell them I gotta wait left. And they come in one at a time. And I know they ran out of several. Yes. Yes, I know. You're right. They were. Well, it's true. See, I'm not located downtown, I'm located in the airport. I thought we drive downtown. Like 3 weeks ago, and we talked about I hit my leg hit the tree we did, and it's gonna take 6 months for it to heal. But it's still got a great big knot on the side of it. All the shit that you're going on, that big knot on the side of it, they said it's gonna be about. If that's why, it's gonna bruise the bottom, the muscle, and everything else in between. I walk away from it. It's all right. Yeah, that is. We both are all it's not. And we probably take those. Just living for us. Well, that's. It was. We're on a rubber road and gateways. Emergency people were not right in the corners of the ocean. We were warning. The world was that's crazy. And it wasn't our fault. Right. Easier on the gravel road. And I think I'm not saying on the It's like. I'm already.
Yeah. Thanks, right? No, I went to the one. Yes. Yeah. I traveled international. Well, so I had that. Yeah. Really, year we go over Europe. Yeah. Spent last year in Europe.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I guess we've been pretty good.
Typically, like all day. And, yeah, and so Saturday we went to and we ate at because I'm something, yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah. So it wasn't even, let me see. It was not. And there was all like, yeah. And so like, okay. It was somewhere else. Like, I usually but
Yeah. It used to be like. Very black and white, black and black. Yes. But yeah, I've never been really Johnson, like, except for. That was good.
Well, but you didn't. Oh my God, that's what I'm gonna be. That's
Two more people. I think we'll wait just a minute. Okay, everybody's here. Did you enjoy your break? Get something to eat, get something to drink? All right, thank you, Bridges, for providing the food and the drinks today. All right, next is the things. Look, hold on, before I forget. Lisa wanted to introduce someone briefly. Lisa?
Tony, you missed your welcome to the council, but I wanted to introduce everyone to Tony. He is our new minority representative, and we're really excited to have you here officially in your first official meeting. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, next is the state grantee report. First up is Bridges for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, Nancy.
All right, good morning, everybody. Just going to really quickly highlight a couple things. We're really proud of our continued partnerships with the Tennessee Organization for the Deafblind, HLAA, NCTAD, and a Deaf Global Group. For all of those groups, we're either providing space and interpreting, or one or the other, sponsoring them. We were excited last month, it's May, so it was 2 months ago, in March, that we hosted a deafblind game day. Those happened at all the centers across the state, so we were excited to all work together on that project. I was glad Robin mentioned the Real ID, which I myself still need to get. But our team from Bridges East actually did a great video for us about the Real ID. So if you're looking for information that is accessible because it's signed, voiced, and captioned, we have posted that on our social media. And we took all of our information from your website to do that. So the Educational Interpreter Development Program, thank you to the Tennessee Department of Education for sponsoring that. It continues to go well. We have over 110 mentees in that program, many of whom have already passed their written exam, many of whom have already taken the performance exam, but it takes like 7 to 9 months to get the performance scores back. So those are slowly trickling in. But the ones that have arrived have really been a 4 or higher, which is our goal for our mentees. The state requires a 3.5 for the license, educational interpreter license, but we expect a little more of our mentees, and they're doing great. I'm very excited that we have had some really good outreach in this second year to rural areas, because it's very difficult to find interpreters in rural areas. And schools often compromise and hire people who just sort of maybe basically know some sign, or they're expected to learn as they go. And so being able to reach out and support those interpreters and improve the quality of their work improves, of course, the quality of access in classrooms across Tennessee. I'm very proud that we saw Jody Upton was the RID Spotlight. Jody is the statewide manager of the program, and she was the RID Spotlight this month, if you want to see a little bit more about her. We've had tax days at all our locations, game days, ASL classes, various workshops, deaf nights out. People love to go out. We have been working with a healthcare system that operates across Tennessee and several other states, filming training videos. We got to work with them for about a year on their script. So it will explain their policies when they have deaf and hard of hearing patients. And then we're acting out some scenarios on what that looks like when you set up properly in the room and you really provide full access. We have been working on our GED program that is ongoing, that is open to anybody in the state. And so that meets 2 nights a week. The Department of Education provides the instructor, and we provide CART and interpreting to make sure that there is a program specifically for deaf and hard of hearing individuals who need to get their GED. We continue to do law enforcement trainings. Those are happening regularly in Memphis and throughout Middle Tennessee, and Johnson City has just agreed to have a law enforcement training, so we're going to work on that. Our Little ACEs program, that's where we match deaf mentors with hearing families who have deaf and hard of hearing children from birth to age 5. That continues to meet. You may have seen a couple of them really cute down the hall this morning, but they're a lot of fun, and that program continues to grow and expand. It is now all across Tennessee. We also have deaf mentors who are working in schools, in elementary, middle, and high schools, going in weekly to support classrooms and be deaf role models and provide language and culture to kids who are in mainstream classrooms. A couple of our goals, I've talked with Lisa about this and the other centers quite a bit, is hopefully we can do some pop-up offices and DHS offices across the state. There's a county office for DHS in every county, and we would like to be able to pop up there every month or every couple months at least to be physically available to people who need us, because the challenge really is reaching people who are outside our metro areas where most of our offices are based. So we'd like to go to them a little bit more. Many times they don't know what services and programs are available to them, and we'd like to work on that. And we had a couple of interns who just left us who started helping us build the foundation for a visitation program for deaf, deafblind, and hard of hearing individuals who are in nursing homes or who are incarcerated, because there's just a tremendous amount of isolation. I know there are people working on this in different fronts, but we would love to develop a visitation program to keep those folks engaged. Coming up this summer, we have Camp Sign Me Up, which is our day camp where hearing students come and learn ASL. Often we find this is where our students with cochlear implants or hearing aids, they like to come to that camp. It may be their first foray into their language and culture. And so that's a lot of fun. Camp Rise and Sign traditionally has been our sleepaway camp, where we go and do all the things one does at camp 24 hours a day with our deaf, hard of hearing students, their hearing siblings and codas. We're making plans for that now. Community Fest will be happening in Memphis and Johnson City this summer, and then it will happen here in Nashville in September. So watch our social media and our website for those dates. Thank you so much for all your support.
When is Johnson City?
If I tell you the date, it will be wrong. So I will email you the date or make sure Andrew tells you.
Okay, I'll contact him.
Thank you.
This is John Johnson. Nancy, just want to say thank you for all the wonderful work that you're doing in the Johnson City area. I know that it's can be a little bit tough out there, so just thank you for all the work and for getting plugged in that area.
Thank you. That area is wonderful. That's a huge. Turn it off. We're really excited about Bridges East and everywhere up there around the Tri-Cities. Like, those folks are on fire. That's a big, strong community. They're really active. They're giving us our marching orders. So we have bumps in the road as we go, as we do everywhere. Anytime you have a big group of people, but it's great. That's an amazing community. Yes.
Hold on.
The camp sign me up, what age group is that for? And is it for everyone in the state of Tennessee?
So traditionally we have taken K through 12 students. I know that we're really open for 3rd through 8th grade. Those are the ages that tend to come the most and do the best. We will have a special camp interpret, which I didn't mention, which is for high school students who have prior exposure to ASL who might be interested in being interpreters later. We like to seed that ground early. And we're gonna open for the first time this summer a special ASL class just for high school students. So not a camp, but a full class that's just for high school students. And we have the most weeks offered here in our Nashville location. Memphis is planning a week or 2 there, and we haven't worked on Johnson cities yet, but we will get on that. But anyone is welcome as long as they can get here.
Any more questions? Thank you, Nancy, for your report. And next we have Jackson Center for Independent Living, Beth James.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. Before I start my report, just briefly, when Edward reported or presented to you guys earlier, he's with the Statewide Independent Living Council. And that is part of an organization that each of the centers for independent living across the state are members of. There are 6 centers for independent living, and they are scattered from Memphis, Harris, Jackson, Nashville, Knoxville, and Chattanooga. And I just want to kind of point out what a resource the centers are. I know many of you know that I'm over a Center for Independent Living. Our center is not just for deaf services, but it's for all disabilities, all ages. And the core services that all of the centers offer are advocacy. I have to count off my fingers. Advocacy, peer support, information referral. We do a lot of that. If you don't know where to go, call us. We'll help you find where to go. We do independent living skills training, like actually hands-on how to do things. And we do what we call transition. And transition can take many forms. It can be someone who's in a nursing home and wants to transition back to living in the community. It can be someone who's in rehab and needs more help to be able to transition back home. And it's also for transitioning youth. So youth that are graduating high school, moving on into the next part of their life. So that's all transition. And that's done differently at all of the centers because we each have our own boards that helps direct our services. So like in Jackson, we build ramps and provide medical equipment and do lots of training. Some of the other centers are more focused on advocacy, just depends. And we work closely, but I just kind of I know he didn't have his slides, and I just wanted to be sure you guys kind of understood what Centers for Independent Living are. We are federally funding as of today. We don't know about come September. So if you think you need us, you might want to use this right away. But anyway, hopefully we're still here come fall, but who knows? So I brought this instead of my notes, but that's okay because it'll be fine. I didn't bring my notes, I brought the agenda. First of all, we have met all of our goals for the year, which we're always glad when we reach that milestone. So sometimes the pro bono can be a little tough for us out in the rural area, but we've got there. We continue doing ASL classes. We do them free. We work with the library. We're working with the 2 sheriff's departments and a police department. We offer ASL 1, ASL 2, and family ASL, which includes children. And again, those are all free. We have a deaf staff member who is leading those classes. So we're very proud of huge number of people participating. Those classes always have between like 10 people on our small classes, and the big classes can be upwards of 30. And we're having like 5 classes a week. So we're pushing a lot of people through getting kind of at least an introduction to ASL. We always have lots of hands-on things to do. I can't remember what we've done lately. We've had movies and different things. We're getting ready for our ADA celebration. It's in July. This year's theme is that we all swim in the same water. And I'll just let you in on something. I have ADHD. I have attention deficit. Really hard for me to sit still through meetings like this. So I was back there crocheting because I have to make 80 of these little things because everybody's going to get octopus or are swimming through the waters. So if you see me doing that, I'm really paying better attention than if I was just sitting there. Because if I'm just sitting there, my mind starts going, I wonder what's happening outside. So anyway, we have some more great classes coming up. We are doing working on estate planning class. There's going to be a topiary tree class, painting. We have a pet care. Those of you that know Lisa, who's one of my interpreters, she has every critter under the sun. Lisa in Jackson. Separillo, you want that last name? That's a tough one. Separillo, Ceparello. So we just call her Lisa. But she likes critters, so she's doing a pet care class for us. And then we're gonna have our ADA, we're gonna have a picnic and bingo. So, and I just want to thank all of the centers, all of the groups. This is a very collaborative group. The other day there was an email went out, someone was looking for a form or how to do something or question. Every single center answered back. Every center had input. You saw forms going, you know, so it's a group that I know I can reach out to, and I hope that you all know that too. Reach out to us because I've never seen something just sit there and not get a response. But and we're little, we're small, but we always look forward to working with everyone and look for opportunities. So thank you.
Question for Beth James. For the Center for Independent Living and the SILC, are there any outreach that you guys do to the deaf blind communities and like the Signal Center, or do you include the Helen Keller National Center? Do you guys do any partnerships or outreach with them?
So the Signal Center, is an assistive technology center. And there are also, I think there's 6 of those, 6 must be the number, that are across the state. So the assistive technology center that's close to us is the Star Center. We work really closely with the Star Center. And I also know that the Center for Independent Living in Chattanooga, they work with Signal Center. They do a lot of joint, because I know from her reports, when she reports, they do a lot of joint planning and providing information. So yeah, the centers all pretty well work with the assistive technology centers. And even the centers, we're the only center that has interpreting as part of our services, but all of the other centers offer, they get interpreters when they need them. They offer services to consumers who are deaf, hard of hearing and deaf blind. But they use the interpreting centers that are near them to provide the interpreters. Any other questions? So you got the only question, so you hear. It won't hurt you. If I whacked him, it wouldn't hurt him. I don't want to whack him.
Thank you, Beth, for your report. And next is the Knoxville Center for the Deaf, Tom DeAngelo. Excuse me, I need to go back. I don't know why I keep skipping things. All right, darn it. Okay, so next is Partnership Services for Families and Children and Adults, Chris Davis.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. And thank you, Carl. You've already given half my report. So thank you for doing that. Okay, just a couple of updates. We have been reached out to all of our 15 counties that we cover in Tennessee as of March. We have done that. So you can check that off of the list. April 4th, we had a sexual assault proclamation. We provided the interpreter for that proclamation about sexual assault awareness. On April the 12th, we partnered with UTK, Maryville College, KCD, and we provided interpreting services to the deaf community for people to learn how to work with professional interpreters and what that looks like. And at Kate's Cove and Signal Mountain national parks there. So we hope to see more collaborating in that vein and next year. We do have an interpreting workshop on June the 10th coming up, so I hope to see several interpreters register for that. And it'll be presented by Sign Language Studios, Amy. And then June 26th, we are going to have the swim and cookout. That's the second annual cookout event. So hope to see families there from the deaf community attend that. It's going to be a potluck. So come on out for that. We also have started with Technology Goes Home, which is a 15-hour training online. It's a computer literacy workshop. And at the end of the workshop, you get a laptop. I think it's like for $50. So Matt and I have gone through that, and so we will start doing that in the fall. And then lastly, we have the Lookout Games that will be coming up in September, but it has been moved up to August 17th. So that's the baseball team, the Lookouts, because they're having a closing ceremony that weekend or something. So they're going to take, they're going to demolish the old stadium or renovate it. So we're moving that date up to August 16th. And then hopefully we'll get back to normal for Deaf Awareness Month in September the following year. Oh, and there's also one last comment. Kevin Hyde, who is our CEO, he was one of the 3 nominated for the Leader of the Year. And he was not the recipient of that award. Dave Baker, excuse me, from the Autism Center won that, but it was still an opportunity for him to be acknowledged for his work. So that's it. Thank you, everyone. Oh, are there any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for your report. And next we have the Knoxville Center, Tom DeAngelo.
Thank you. Everyone's able to see me okay? Hello. Hello. Let's get some energy up. All right. So I'm really excited to be here with everyone today. I've been looking forward to this morning. I know we have a lot of work ahead of us and me personally. I did want to just introduce myself. I am Tom DeAngelo, KCD's new executive director. I started a month as of yesterday. So I'm still learning the lay of the land a little bit, learning the community, and I don't have a whole lot to report, but I do promise you next meeting, you'll hear a lot about what KCD is doing. My focus right now is to rebuild relationships, with the community, with other centers, with everyone here at the table and the community. So please feel free to reach out to me via email. I'd love to connect with you. I do have several business cards to hand out. I have a few left. So yeah, just reach out to me. Again, my name is TDANGELO at KCDTN.org. So again, just reach out to me and that would be awesome. We have several events coming up ahead of us. So you can check our social media, our Facebook, Instagram, everything is up and running on that front. So if you have any questions, we are open for business. We're so like I said, April 7th. I started taking off. So do you have any questions? I do have one question from Michael. When's the golf tournaments? Yeah, so the question was, when is the golf tournament? Michael Armstrong asked, our fundraising event, that's a work in progress right now. I will provide more information, but look at that for sometime to happen in October. I know many people are excited about the golf tournament. So just to kind of go on that, I know that that's a fundraiser a large fundraiser we had in Knoxville, the golf tournament that helps support our programs and services. So, you know, the Bridges team is doing great. I saw your fundraising event. I have my eye on that, and we're going to maybe take some cues from you. So, okay, anything else? Any other questions for me? Okay, pretty quiet group, but you know where to find me.
Thank you, Tom, for your report. And next we have TCDDBHH initiatives. Mental health work group update, Angela. Okay, so we've already discussed, and you know that the deaf and hard of hearing mental health community we're trying to get more services for the deaf and hard of hearing community because they don't have enough services. So the work group has been actively working, and we need your help to continue and to be successful. So we're excited about the things that are coming up. So the mental health work group includes John Johnson, Sharon Bryant, Gully, that's right, thank you. I knew it was NC something, but I didn't know what it was. Okay, so Jennifer Dean, Lisa Rimmel, and myself. But we want more people to get involved. We have a lot of work to do. So something that has happened this year, we're really focused on doing, you know, meetings are great, you know, but we really want to do something. So we're excited to announce that we are going to go to Chattanooga to Partnership Thursday, May 22nd at 6 p.m. We want you all to help us spread the word and tell the deaf community to come and join us. Deaf, hard of hearing, deaf, blind. It's about mental health awareness. So we want them all to join us. We'll have free mental health screenings. We'll have free food, other fun things, you know, learning opportunities and that kind of thing regarding mental health services here in Tennessee. We want to hear your stories. We want to know what you need. Just encourage everyone to come and join us. We want to improve the mental health services here in the state of Tennessee. And also, Lisa talked about the meeting with the different centers. We're going to host the same event at all of the different centers in Tennessee. So look forward to all those as well. Yep, we're coming to Knoxville. So, if you haven't, talked to Lisa, someone will reach out soon and you can like, pick a date that's available and we can set something up. So, and that's really it. I just want to encourage you all to get the word out. Let people know about the mental health, things that we're doing all over the state. Come on, tell your friends. The biggest challenge is that deaf people don't know about the mental health services that are available. They feel like there's no recourse for them. So tell them to come and join us and we'll spread the word. Any questions? Thank you, Angela, for your report. And next, public comments from visitors. Anyone? Anyone? You all? You have a question or comment? Okay, okay, just checking. All right, so there are no comments from visitors. And next is announcements. Are there any announcements? Tony? Oh, wait, okay.
So, two announcements. Yeah, so first announcement is, I think some of you have questions about the Walk for Hearing. HLA Walk for Hearing, we will be having that in the fall, which would be November 1st. And, it will be in the morning, I think, so probably not in the morning, but I will let you guys know at the next meeting. And, I think the location will be, I'm not sure yet the location, but maybe Temple Park. So last year we had it in Centennial Park. But I'm not sure about this year yet. And okay, so that's the first announcement. Second announcement is HLAA Nashville will be having next week, we'll be having a CPR class. So if anyone's interested in going to that CPR class, the cost is $60 for the certification. But you don't want the certification, the cost is $40. And I have a handout, I can pass it out to you guys, if anyone's interested. I'll pass it on to all of you. No, I haven't taken this class before, so my mom, my dad, the coming of age, and if something happened to them, I think it'll be very useful, as the time goes. So I'll be happy to pass it out if anyone's interested. And okay, that's it. That's what I'm now.
Thank you, Tony, for your announcement. Any more announcements? Angela? I think she forgot something. Also, I just want to let you know, at our last meeting, we discussed some really exciting things that are coming up. One is the trauma play therapy. That's when you work with children. We're researching that now. So if you know of families with hearing parents with deaf children, I think it's age 5 to like 17. They can reach out and have a test to see if that approach might be applicable for them and see if that would be a good fit to improve mental health for the deaf, for the children there. And then so again, hearing parents with deaf children, And then deaf parents with hearing children or deaf children as well, we want all perspectives to be involved with that. They are interested in that play therapy. And then this month, in the month of May, Gallaudet students, an intern student is going to be working with the mental health providers. And that intern is actually deaf from Georgia. So has reached out and she's going to be involved as well. She's really excited. So we have a good research team. We have a new intern student involved. So again, we want you all to help because we are the ones that are going to impact the future for the deaf community. So, okay, now I think that's it. All right. Thank you, Angela. Any more announcements? Alex, can you take the floor, please? The reason I'm asking him is because I'm going to step out of my chairperson role and step into my representative role. So that's how the process works. I have to step out of one role and give the floor to Alex so that I can then take over my representative role. Now I'm a representative. So last night I got an email related to TTY or relay services. There are 22 pages I have to read. And there's a possibility that relay services, you know, I'm not talking about BRS, I'm talking about TTY itself. It's possible they'll shut that down in April of 2026 if they can't find a sponsor. But I have to research more. I just found out last night. So I have to look at that and then I'm going to reach out later to a representative here. I think it's Monique as the representative here, but she's not here today. She's on Zoom. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know I'm concerned because I know there are a few people that still use TTY, even today, even in this day and age, but and they hate VRS, and I get that. They hate the technology and everything, and they prefer to do it the old-fashioned way, and I get that. So I'm concerned that that will be completely dismantled. So I wanted to give you an update in that report. So there you go. Okay, Alex, do your thing.
Hi, can you all hear me? Marina, can you hear me?
So Alex gave me the floor.
Okay.
So, okay, hold on just a second, Monique.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So Alex gave me the floor back as the chair, so I resumed that role. So now, Monique, take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I can't show my video. I'm at the hospital with my dad today. But yes, that has come from my agency, the Tennessee Public Utility Commission. We provide TRS for the state of Tennessee. What has happened is we sent out an invitation to bid for the two vendors to continue relay. We have an extension until, like she said, 2026. We got the responses back where they are, I don't know how to put it, just the cost to provide relay service now is like astronomical. And so what we're doing, the state, a lot of the states, it's not just our state, there are a lot of states going through this that will not be able to afford to continue to fund TRS if they keep raising the cost. So what we're all doing are opening dockets We just opened the docket. You all got, the council members got the email last night. And so what we're asking the council members to do are to share this information with your hard of hearing and deaf communities, because at this time we're looking for answers or possible suggestions, any feedback that you all have on how to go about helping us fight to keep TRS. So what we'll do now that the docket is open, within the next week or so, we're going to open it up for public comments. And that's where we need you all to flood it with comments, like with suggestions you think. I know some people, what will happen is if we don't provide it, it goes to the FCC. The FCC doesn't want to handle it. So we just need suggestions on how to move forward with TRS. So we are looking forward to getting everybody's feedback from the deaf, hard of hearing community. So if you can share this information with people that you know, we would greatly appreciate your support and comments on this issue. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, so while you're here on Zoom, you said that public comments until next week, is that right?
No, I said, we will, next week, we will open it up for public comments.
So how long will that go? How long will people be able to comment?
We haven't decided yet. It won't be just a week though. There'll probably be a few weeks, but we will send out a link on our website. And there will be a link for you all to put in public comments. So we'll send that information out. And hopefully, like I said, within the next week, the board, I will send you all the link. And if you could get it to your respective places, then that would be great.
So the opening the docket, this is the first I've heard of that wording. So how does that work? So you open the public comments, you gather all the information, and then it lasts for however long, then that is used to promote the bill, or just how does this whole process work?
This is a new process for us as well. So we're opening the docket. We need your information, all of your comments, and then we will set up a meeting. Our legal team will set up a meeting with the vendors who have raised their prices, as well as the FCC, and let FCC know, hey, you want us to be responsible for this, but this is what they're charging. We can't afford it. So what will happen next? So it'll be like a legal process at that point.
Okay, we have a couple of people who have questions for you. First, John Johnson.
Okay, so thank you. So the relay is not only for deaf and hard of hearing, it also serves the deaf blind community as well. Some people may not be able to see a screen on VRS, but they are able to see the print. And they also use a device called CCTV where the print comes up on their screen so they can read better.
Now, this is not
so it also meets their needs as well. So the 6 centers are aware of those deaf-blind consumers, and maybe they can reach out to those community members and report back some feedback for you as well.
Okay, thanks, John. But John, this is traditional relay. This is for people who can't go through internet. They are strictly using TTY mainly. This is traditional relay service. The internet part, that part is not going away. This is for traditional relay only, for people who don't have internet in their rural areas and rely on TTY communication. But still, yes, please pass the information on.
Any more questions, Tom?
Okay, no, I'm good.
Interesting. Next is Michael Armstrong. This is his name time.
Okay, Monique, so I have a question. So with the dates that are in consideration, I would say maybe like the last of May or the first of June would be good dates because the first week, the council checks their emails, and then if too much time goes by, then it seems like that the 2 week span gives enough people time for social media and they can respond that way. I think a 4 week time window would be my suggestion for feedback. But again, I think maybe the beginning of June would be a good time to start those 4 weeks.
Thanks so much, Michael. I will take that back to my agency. Any other questions?
Yes, I have one more question. How many people use how many total users are there of TTY?
There are 74.
Okay, so 74 people, do you know what areas they're from?
Mainly East Tennessee, around the Knoxville area.
All right, Tom has a question for you, Monique. Hold on.
Okay.
So it's more of a comment than a question for you, Monique. So before I joined KCD, there was a lot of involvement with TRS industry from like 2000. When I was down in Florida, I had a lot of experience, and then we saw those numbers decline with landline, which is understandable, but it still is an important service. So as executive director of KCD, I'm happy to partner with you, Monique, to get the word out. And I'm sitting on the Florida Public Utility Commission board there before I relocated here. And I've seen a lot of the numbers in the data with the different landlines. And so this is a project that I'm actually really excited that was mentioned. I know it seems to be going away, but I do want to work together. So Monique, if you would, can you reach out to me?
I definitely will. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom, for the comment. I really appreciate it. Yep, we need you involved. Okay, so Tom's sign name is this. Okay, so any more announcements or wait, hold on, back up. Any more questions for Monique first? Related to the TTY or any concerns about that? Okay, thank you, Monique.
You're welcome.
Any more announcements? Okay. All right. The meeting is adjourned at 11:35. Have a great day.
That will be famous forever. As in council history. Oh, remember that forever. It was so funny. And your sign was funny too, but